Full-time employees. Full-time employees are those that work an average of 40 hours a week and are eligible for benefits, such as health insurance, retirement plans, and paid time off. Each company defines the parameters for a full-time employee, though there are some limitations to what they can define. Part-time employees. Part-time employees are individuals who work less than 40 hours a week and are typically paid by the hour rather than salaried. These employees are still considered legitimate employees of a company, but may not be eligible for benefits. Part-time employees often want the flexibility their hours afford to be able to balance their time at work with other commitments or interests, such as their family, hobbies, or school. Temporary employees. Temporary contingent workers are often hired for casual and unspecialized work. This may include entry-level construction labor or assistance at an event such as a convention or festival. These non-permanent workers are generally hired on a very short-term basis, such as when an organization is understaffed for a day or two or during a weekend event. They may also be hired to work on a specific project and stop working for the company when the project is complete. Employers can hire temporary employees directly or can go through a staffing agency to find employees that fit their needs. Seasonal employees. Seasonal employees are hired for seasonal needs, usually for peak times like summers or winter holidays. Because they are not considered permanent employees, seasonal employees are eligible for Social Security and unemployment benefits. Leased employees. A leased employee is an individual who is hired by a staffing agency and then leased out to an organization to complete a specific job. Leased employees typically work with the company they are leased to for a year or longer. While still considered an employee, leased workers are on the payroll of the staffing agency and also receive any benefits through the employment agency rather than the organization they are working for. Contract employees. A contract worker is a person who is retained by an organization for a set period of time to perform a specific task or duty. How much the contract worker will be paid is also predetermined and may be paid before, during, or after the worker has completed their job. Fixed-term employees. A fixed-term employee is someone who has a contract that ends either on a specified date, when a specific job or project is completed, when a specific event occurs, for example, external funding ends. Generally, people employed on fixed-term contracts have the same rights as other employees. There are also some extra legal protections for workers with fixed-term contracts. Probation. Probationary employment is often part of the full-time and refers to a trial period during which new hires are assessed for performance. It gives employers time to evaluate their performance and decide if they will fit within the organization. Probation periods can range from a few weeks to a few months, depending on the role's responsibilities. Freelancers. A freelancer is an interchangeable term for an independent contractor. Freelance is often used to describe more casual or creative work. Freelancers drive a large portion of the gig economy since much of their work is short-term and casual. As with contractors, freelancers aren't on your organization's payroll, but instead invoice their services on a project, hourly, or retainer basis. Consultant. Consultants are self-employed individuals who offer expert advice in their field of specialization, but don't often perform the work themselves. A business consultant, for example, may advise an employer on how to improve their business operations and create a performance improvement plan, but they don't implement the strategies. Consultant fee structures can vary, but they typically perform their services on a temporary basis and invoice the business. An organization may hire the same consultant repeatedly over time according to its needs. Contingent. Contingent employment encompasses diverse workers, from freelancers to non-permanent or temporary employees. Contingent employees often have complete control over the delivery of their work and file their taxes. By hiring contingent workers, businesses save on benefits, long-term commitments, and administrative overhead. Employment on commission. This type of work arrangement allows companies to pay employees based on the sales or performance they generate. Job on commission is standard in sales and marketing roles, as these roles require employees to stay motivated to create revenue Establishing a direct incentive to achieve targets keeps them motivated to excel. For businesses, the advantage is they only pay when the employee delivers results. This type of employment minimizes fixed labor costs and aligns compensation with performance. Casual employment. Casual employment suits businesses that don't require a fixed hours schedule. Students who prefer to work along with their studies find it most suitable. Casual employees must check their rosters and work on their assigned shifts. However, they get the flexibility to swap shifts with each other to adjust their work hours as per their routine. During the peak season of business, employers can ask these employees to fill in for extra shifts. However, casual workers have the right to accept or reject this request. Internship. Businesses hire interns to help them gain experience in their respective fields of interest. The internships can be paid or unpaid, but employers are advised to check the FLSA regulations regarding overtime pay and minimum wage to stay compliant with the laws. Internships can last from a few weeks to months depending on the field. Internship programs help participants understand their field of interest and decide which career path to choose. In addition, internships allow companies to find the best talent for permanent roles in their organization where they require minimal experience. Apprenticeship. This type of employment is for those who are new to trade industries and looking for practical experience in this field. Simply put, many companies provide apprenticeship opportunities of a fixed duration to help novice employees learn on the job under experienced professionals with structured training programs. Employers pay apprentices at the rates specified at the time of agreement. However, payroll taxes aren't deducted from employees' apprenticeship salaries. After the apprenticeship, the apprentices with good performance receive full-time employment contracts from the same employer. Traineeship. Traineeship employment is similar to an apprenticeship, as employees gain practical work experience in a particular field. Employees are trained to get the skills required to do a particular job successfully. Trainees get a wage or stipend agreed upon between employer and employer. However, employers don't have to pay taxes on the trainee wage. Additionally, these trainees may also receive employee benefits such as paid time off and insurance. In traineeship, managers or employers closely supervise employees' work and train them during the initial stage. Trainees can learn the skills while contributing to the work in the training program. Employers mostly use this type of employment when they need employees on a short-term basis for less skilled tasks. In return, trainees get practical knowledge for their certification and qualification. Volunteering. Volunteers are individuals who freely give their time and labor to serve a community purpose. This classification applies to charitable activities that non-paid individuals carry out for nonprofit businesses, such as religious, humanitarian, or public service organizations. The time commitments for a volunteer vary between positions, with some companies allowing them to choose their hours. Volunteers usually work more to build their CVs and gain experience rather than receive pay benefits. They work less than 35 hours per week and temporarily at the company's discretion and themselves. Companies usually provide volunteers with an agreement that stipulates the level of support, supervision, and training they can expect, whether the organization's public liability or employer insurance covers them and the company's expenses.